You know the difference between the defense and the prosecution? Story. The power of a story. See, this is a new day, and the style of communication in this new world order is different. What most people do, they stop really looking into their eyes and just look at their face. They don't make a commitment to transform their mind. They don't make a commitment to cultivate what's behind the eyes. They don't decide and become resolved to create something different that's looking back at them. A tree can't be anything but a tree. An alligator can't be anything but an alligator. A dog can't be anything but a dog. But human beings, we can be anything we desire to be. If we're willing to make the commitment, if we're willing to invest the time and the effort to rethink our lives, to reinvent ourselves, we can be anything. We can change what's looking back. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I thought about something I want to share with you. Because there's so much out there now. A lot of people looking at, and I look at things differently than most people. I'm always looking at the presentation. How many of you ever look at the quality of the presentation of the defense and the prosecution? You know, when you have something like this. And yesterday I was watching, you know the difference between the defense and the prosecution? Story. The power of a story. The power of a story. Regardless of your political persuasion, the power of a story. See, this is a new day, and the style of communication in this new world order is different. It's quite different. People are who are successful, who are going to make a greater impact, who are going to be persuasive, are people who are trained on how to tell a story and create an experience with the story. With the story. When the prosecuting attorney told the story about his daughter, she said, "I don't want to come back here anymore to the Capitol." I cried. I cried. It moved me. I cried along with him. It moved me. That's the power of story. It's the power of communication. This is a new place where we are. It's something that Tennessee Williams said. And I want you to write this down. Because when I read this, it impacted me. He asked the question. He said, when you look in the mirror, he said, there comes a time where when you look in a mirror, what you see is all you're ever going to see. And what most people do, they stop really looking into their eyes and just look at their face. They make up their face. They don't make a commitment to transform their mind. They don't make a commitment to cultivate what's behind the eyes. They don't decide and become resolved to create something different that's looking back at them. And this moment for me, when I looked in the mirror, I remember it just came to me, dropped in my spirit, as Dwight Pleasure would say. I had broken up from a relationship, and I was in the mirror crying, and I was saying, this just can't be me. My cousin Boo was with me. I said, Boo, this just can't be me. I just cried like a little baby. Boo came in, and he said, as he looked in the mirror and saw my face, he said, if it's not you, who is it? I said, get out of here and leave me alone. I was crying. Women don't think that we cry when y'all break up from us. Yes, we do. We might hide it. Oh my goodness. You know, this can't be me. He said, if it's not you, who is it? I don't know. You just leave me alone. And so I resolved, when I looked at who was looking back at me, is this me? Where my life was at that point in time? What I know that I have going for me? And that guy who was looking back at me? I decided right then and there that was not it for me. He said, there comes a time in your life when you look in the mirror and you know what's looking back at you. That person who's looking back at you is all you are ever going to be. That's an awakening. And I said, no, this is not me. Sometimes you can just become so unconscious and oblivious to where you are. You've been on automatic. You're just doing things without thinking, and you look around and time has gone by and you say, wait a minute. How did this happen? How did I get here? And that voice says, wherever you find yourself at some point in time, you made an appointment to be there. Now, you got a choice. Got a choice. You can ignore what's looking back at you, the man in the mirror, Michael Jackson, the woman in the mirror, or you can do something about it. And I decided I was going to do something about it. I decided that I was going to work on myself. See, you know, the difference between everything that exists, the power that we have above animals, and whatever else we see. A tree can't be anything but a tree. An alligator can't be anything but an alligator. A dog can't be anything but a dog. But human beings, we can be anything we desire to be. If we're willing to make the commitment, if we're willing to invest the time and the effort to rethink our lives, to reinvent ourselves, we can be anything. We can change what's looking back. And that was a moment, a decisive moment for me. Have you ever had that kind of moment before, where you looked at yourself and said, hey, what happened? That you didn't recognize you. Sometimes it can be in a relationship where you're dying together rather than living together. Sometimes it can be on a job where your hair's turning gray. That job is not you. You overworked and underpaid, and you're spending 40, 60 hours a week, somebody controlling your life, telling you how high to jump, and you know it's not you. You know it's not you. You're living a misplaced life. You know it. On Monday morning, people who do that, the heart attack rate increases by 35%. They end up dying on the toilet, getting ready to go to a job that's not them. 86% of people, they know it's not them, and they die of a broken heart of living a life that's not them, and they have the potential of greatness in them to do so much more, but they decided to ignore what they saw in the mirror and refuse to see it again. Just spend time putting the makeup on. Yeah. Spend time covering the gray. Yeah, they're having a little revolution there. Oh, behave. Hello. Listen to me, Linda. Listen to me. Oh, I'm dropping some stuff, as these young people say today. I'm dropping some truth up in here. Somebody said, there he goes. Hello, whatever. And so when you look at yourself, look at your goals, and look at your dreams, oh my goodness, this thing called life. I want somebody to put on the right here, say, I feel you. Just put there, say, I feel you. I feel you, Les. I feel you, Les. Tyrone, somebody just asked for you. Tyrone just said, I'm busy. I've got some squirrels. I'm trying to teach them how to speak English. If you don't know, I have a squirrel friend named Tyrone, that's on the west side of the house, and he's taught me squirrely. I'm bilingual now. Yes. So listen, if you believe that what you see in the mirror, there's more of you back there behind your eyes. If you believe that this just can't be it, if you are ready, just said, you know what? I have to face the reality that if I knew how to do it, I would have done it. You need a mentor. You need a coach. Your voice is so important. You'll see the difference, the presentation. One just talking out their head, and the other one tells a story to make a point. You never make a point without a story, and you never tell a story without a point. It's a new world order. This is a new day. And because it's a new day, it's a new style of communication that's required in order to get a buy-in, in order to influence people, in order to transform people, in order to impact people. I was living in Crossroads Apartments off Sunbury Road in Columbus, Ohio. I just gotten fired from WVKL radio station. And I just said, you know, I can do more than just be here being angry. I can do more than that. And I decided to work on me. Robert Boyd, very good friend of mine, he came over to see me. Sometimes you need a friend who will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. He said, Leslie Brown? I said, yes. He said, things are not going to get better for you until you get better. Things are not going to improve in your life until you improve. That's all I got to say. And he turned and walked out. And I went and looked in the mirror. And I said, he's right. He's right. See, most people won't tell you the truth because they know you can't handle it. Don't cast pearls before swines, people of low consciousness, lest they turn and rend you, lest they get angry and turn against you because they don't want to hear the truth. You can't handle the truth. Yeah. But fortunately, I was in a level of consciousness. I'd hit rock bottom. I was at a place that I could hear. And he made me look at where I was, how I had fallen, but most importantly, that was not my rightful place. Your rightful place is where your thoughts have brought you. Your true place is where your thoughts can take you. And I invested in myself to elevate myself. I'm giving out right now. You can go to Hungry to Speak and put in there, choosing your future, hungrytospeak.com, choosing your future, some CDs, some speeches that I'm giving away free. You are the subject area. You are the money. And based upon how well you communicate, based upon the kind of impact that you're able to make, to bring through your presence, to bring through the passion in your voice, learning how to create an experience with people that you can't see. The reason that I'm good at this, because for years I did radio and I couldn't see the audience, and I learned some things. I learned how to hold an audience's attention and be able to impact them, make them laugh, make them feel good. I can teach you how to do that too. I learned some things. I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. Now you're ready to create a shift in your life. If you believe that there's more in you than what's looking back at you in the mirror, you're not listening to me by accident. You know that what I'm saying is true. You know. When I think about the people whose lives I've impacted around the globe, I mean, from around the world, if I wasn't able to communicate, if I wasn't able to reach them, to expand their minds, to touch their heart, to ignite their spirit, we would not be having this conversation right now. You've got a power voice, and there's a system, there's a systematic process to access that voice. There's no secret to success. There's a system to success. And the people who know how to communicate, the people who know how to impact an audience, have them on the edge of their seat, can bring them to tears, having them laughing in their tears, are the people that are going to be successful in this new world order. And we saw it yesterday, and it's going on today. It's going on today. I mean, that man who talked about his son, he had buried his son and his daughter, as he was talking to his daughter and said, well, I apologize for what's going on, the riots that's taking place here. I'll bring you back another time. And his daughter said, Daddy, I don't want to come back anymore. Woo! Wow.
For those that maybe aren't going to have access to more intimate training from you.
Yes.
And obviously it's a more extensive training that would cover all these things. What would you tell people on how they can organize their voice through a speech so that they're tapping into the hearts of people when they connect with them and sharing their story in such a way that it is an interruption and gets people to transform the way they look at themselves in a more positive way and impact others around them? What would you say? I took Toastmasters 8 years ago. I think you took it, or you were part of the organization in some way.
I never took Toastmasters. Toastmasters, they selected me among the top 5 speakers in the world. General Norman Schwarzkopf, Lee Iacocca, Paul Harvey, and Robert Schuller. I mean, that's a very elite group. Yes, I'm the last guy standing.
That's pretty big. Well, I took them 8 years ago for a year because I couldn't stand in front of 5 people and share anything without stuttering and stumbling and forgetting what I was going to say.
The first time I stood up to speak, I stood up and my mind sat down. I choked. I couldn't remember anything. When I spoke in the Georgia Dome, I went to the bathroom 7 times. Did I tell you 7 is my lucky number? They knocked on the door. Brownie. I said, what is it? Come out, man. Dexter Yeager, they're pausing now because it's time for you. And I made a mistake. I looked out at the audience and I panicked. I said, Mike, I don't hear the voices. I'm scared. He said, Brownie, they came to see you. You didn't come to see them. He said, come out. You will hear the voices. I said, I don't know, Mike. I've been trying. I just don't know. I'm scared. And he said, just be scared and do it anyhow. Don't speak. I said, I don't have to speak? He said, no. I said, then what will I do? He said, just tell a story. Tell a story of where you are, about what you're going through. and about the goal and dream for buying your mother a home. You know, I told my mother, I said, Mama, when I become a man, I'm going to buy your home. I said, when I turn 18, I'm going to sit you down and I'm going to be able to buy groceries for us. We won't have to wait till someone eats and hope that there's something left over. I'm going to buy brand new clothes for us, and we won't have to wear somebody else's children's clothes that they've worn all year long. When I become a man, you'll never pay another bill. I don't believe that women should pay bills. I think if a woman wants to work, she should work and do what she loves to do, and if whatever money she earns, she should keep it for herself. A man, not a grown boy, a man provides and protects. I'm from old school. And so my vision of myself, of wanting to buy her home and be able to provide for her, and I did that. I bought 4 different homes before she passed. That drove me. And so I think it's important that people find something that gives their life a sense of meaning and value, that drives them, that becomes their magnificent obsession.
Yeah.
And that's where I am.
I like that. And so what about for people who want to give
the people who want to
and
speak,
share their voice?
well, I think they should find something that they're passionate about. Some subject that they can lose themselves in. The scripture says, if a man to gain his life, he must lose it. And I thought it was about physically losing your life, but it's about when I speak, I go to a place. LeBron James, when they won the championship, he was in an interview and they said, how did you do it? And he said, I had to go to another place. So when I speak, it's not about me. My prayer is more of thee, less of me. I'm encouraging people who are serious about speaking. Don't just do it for the money. You can make a lot of money. I earn more in 1 hour than 90% of the American public earn working for 5 years. But when you find something that you love, you will study it. Something that you love, it becomes a difference between being in speaking and speaking being in you, that you will become not just confident, but you will become competent on that. That when I prepare myself for a speaking engagement, and I still do, because I don't believe that you're never too old to learn and you're never too young to teach. And so I pour myself into it. I lose myself into it because it's not about me, it's about the audience. So I'm suggesting to those, and I only want to work with people who are serious, that what we can do for those people is right now, number one, never make a point without a story, and never tell a story without a point. That's number one. That's key, because stories can be used to transform people's lives. Right? Yeah. Not just anchor the points, but it creates a significant emotional event. And that's how human behavior is transformed. We have emotional memory. The next thing in speaking, there is some fear, and that fear is always there. I never assume that I know what that audience is going to believe. Each audience, they have their own personality, and each audience, their audience inside of each audience that's separated by age, by race, by income, by education. The other thing that's crucial in speaking is that as you speak and as you look at the audience, always take the time to find out who they are, and all that get understanding. So I have a needs assessment that I sent out, and I ask them questions. What are the things that you want this audience to walk away with? What are the things that you've done? Things that's stressing you out. What's the unspoken conversation? So I sent out this needs assessment. I talk with the CEO. I do research to find out their mission statement. I talk to the marketing director, and then I interview the top performers. If it's a sales organization, I talk to the top performers, and then the next step, I interview people in the audience. If you were in my position, what are the things that people in this audience need to hear if you were in my position that you would suggest? I ask them individually, these 5 people. And then when I'm on stage, I integrate that. I marry that to navigate an experience. as I said, Oliver Wendell Holmes said that once a man or woman's mind has been expanded with an idea, concept, or experience, it can never be satisfied to going back to where it was. So when you bring all of those elements in there with humor, with quotes, statistics, and stories, you are able to create special moments that can transform that audience. The other thing, when you tell a story, don't just tell the story. Experience the story, and the audience will go there with you.
Be the story.
Yes, you've got to be the story, the embodiment of the story, so that the audience, as a result of hearing it, that they can't rest, that you start showing up in their dreams. You know, I have one of the things that I love, and I'll give them an example of what I mean, because some things are taught and some things are caught. One of the things that I spoke the other day, and I wanted this group of people that I was talking to, I wanted to challenge them to get outside of their comfort zone and to become uncomfortable with where they are. There's no saying you can take a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. However, if you know how to speak strategically and create a special moment, you can create a thirst where they want to drink. And so when I got to the end of my presentation, I looked at them and I said, right now I want to talk to you about Dr. Howard Thurman, who was one of the mentors of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Albert Schweitzer and Mahatma Gandhi. And when I was diagnosed with prostate cancer and my PSA was 2,400, I was pondering about my life. Am I going to beat this? And I was reading his words for comfort, and he said, the ideal situation for a man or woman to die is to have family members praying with them as they cross over. But imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed and standing around your bed, the ghost of the dreams, the ideas, the abilities given to you by life, but you, for whatever reason, you never pursued those dreams. You never acted on those ideas. You never used those gifts, and there they are looking at you with large angry eyes saying, we came to you, and only you could have given us life, and now we must die with you forever. And the question is, if you died today, what dreams, what ideas, what gifts will die with you? I pause, and the room is silent. I said, maybe that's why Henry David Thoreau said, oh God, to reach the point of death, only to realize that you've never lived. Maybe that's why one woman said, what if you live your whole life only to discover that it was wrong? Then I tell them, live full, die empty. I had one lady who, she was 62 and she went back to finish law school at Wayne State University. She said, I'm not going to have that ghost around my bed. I spoke at West Angeles Church in Los Angeles, and Denzel Washington was on the first row. And he said, and he mentions this several times in graduation speeches, that he had a narrow vision of the roles that he would play as an actor. And after he heard that, he said he decided that he was going to play a variety of roles, that he didn't want any role that said, we came to you, Denzel, and you wouldn't want to play us. You want to just be a goody two-shoe guy, all right? Yeah. So I said, wow, I hope I didn't inspire him to do Training Day, because I got sick of that. I couldn't keep my popcorn down.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's about creating those special moments, but the other thing is get some coaching.
Yeah.
From people, definitely. And not just anybody, someone who's accomplished and doing it on the level that you want to do it, because you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. Muhammad Ali said, I'm the greatest, but he never won a championship without Angelo Dundee. Michael Jordan, considered one of the greatest basketball players of all time, but he never won a championship without Phil Jackson. So get some coaching from someone who's experienced, who's operated on the level that you want to go at. When I saw Mike Williams, who wrote the book, The Road to Your Best Stuff, he was a powerful speaker, and I loved his content and the naturalness of his personality, and he had fun. And so I said, I want to be like that. So I'm a combination of Mike Williams and Earl Nightingale, who was well-read, and Zig Ziglar, who had a lot of energy. And Jim Rohn has some profound quotes. Just a great thinker, a statesman. But I also trained to be able to communicate. Like Dr. King was a great orator. Malcolm X was a great communicator. And so I integrate all of these people.
Wow.
I believe if you love this, you will study the people that master it, and you will evolve into creating your own voice with your own energy signature.
Do you have an online program as well for speaking for people that want to know
Yes. In fact, we have just completed one that's not online, but what they can do if they're serious and hungry. I'm looking for people that are hungry. Hungry people are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. They can email me at lesbrown77@gmail.com. Did I tell you 7 is my lucky number?
You did.
lesbrown77@gmail.com, and said, I want to tell my story and make a difference. And we will I will send them the 7 principles of storytelling and some videos of how to tell your story, and we'll do that free for them.
Very cool.
And also the Georgia Dome presentation and 2 others that I just found that would be just great for them. The 7 principles of storytelling, how to tell your story, and the Georgia Dome presentation, and some others that I just located. And the reason that I want to do that, I believe that if we multiply the voices of hope, messengers of hope, that will provide a message of peace and a message of hope. When there's hope in the future, that gives you power in the present. I believe that we can reduce the recidivism rate. I believe that we can reduce the number of our young men and women that's in the military who are committing suicide on a regular basis. I believe that we can begin to decrease crime and the violence that's taking place all across this country, because evil prevails when good men and women do nothing. Nothing happens until it's communicated. In the beginning was the Word. And so my goal is to multiply the voices out here that will bring some words that can help us to get a different vision of ourselves.
That's powerful.
What are you hungry for? I wanted to be my own boss everywhere I worked because of the politics. I got fired. Some things happen to you, some things happen for you. Had I not been fired from WVKO radio station, had I not been fired, I would have never became a state legislator. Had I not been fired, I'd never produced specials for public television. Had I not been fired, I'd have never been paid $5 million to do a talk show by King World. Had I not been fired, I would have never been able to resign from the Ohio legislature and go back to Miami to take care of my mother. I promised her that she would not end up in a nursing home. She used to work in a nursing home and never wanted to go. I remember my sister calling me, Leslie, are you sitting down? What's wrong with Mama? Mama has breast cancer. It's terminal. I said, I'll be right there. You don't have to come. You got nice nursing homes in here in Dade County. Listen to me. No, I'm coming. I left immediately, my political ambitions, everything, and I rung the doorbell. A friend of hers named Mildred was there, and she came to the door. Whoa, Mildred said, Mamie, Leslie's here. Leslie's here. And I heard my mother say, I knew he would come. I knew my boy would come. Is there somebody that you love? Somebody that is so important to you that if something happened to them, they can count on your being there, of your showing up. What do you think about that? I want you to put voice in the comments section, because it allows you to control your own personal economy. It allows you to create your own job. See, a job is what you get paid for. Your calling is what you are made for. 86% of Americans go to jobs that they hate. And at the same time, they don't want to get fired. That's what you call mixed emotions. Seeing somebody you hate drive off a cliff in your car. You said that they're gone, but not you're glad that they're going, but not in your car. Couldn't they do something else? Use a bicycle or something? To drive off a cliff, not in your car. You glad they're gone, though. Let me tell you something. This thing called life. Helen Keller had a point. Life is short and unpredictable. Eat the dessert first. Bet on you. Tomorrow's not promised. If we don't know anything else, we know that the coronavirus has taught us how fragile life is. Don't leave here doing something that's not you. Take a chance on you. Give yourself a chance. I wrote the quote, shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. My brothers and sisters, they thought I was crazy. And I am. Sometimes you got to be out of your mind. Let that mind be in you. See, if there's got to be another mind in you, then you got to be out of your mind, because that mind is not serving you. I want you, if you'd like to work with me, if you've heard my voice since you were a kid, and it touched you, it touched your heart, it expanded your vision of what was possible. If you were in a dark place and you just didn't think you could make it, William Hollis said to me, he's got a motivational message he put together, and I encourage you to get it. It's called, I didn't come this far to come this far. He called me Pops. And let me share something with you. He's a bad boy up in here. And he said he was homeless and he heard my voice. I became his spiritual father. He heard my voice. And it brought him through a very difficult time. Jose Flores. Jose. He said, don't let your limitations become your standard. And Jose, who is bound in a wheelchair, but buddy, he's now motivating and speaking to corporations and individuals and inspiring them, even though he's confined to a wheelchair, quadriplegic. His beautiful wife, Adrian. You're still here. There's so much more in you. Simba, you're more than that which you have become. This is not for everybody, though. At this stage of my life, at 75, I'm looking for people that are hungry. I'm looking for people who say, Les Brown, I'm the one. That's what I told Mr. Washington. You go and you look at Les Brown speaking in the Georgia Dome. You go all the way to the end. I followed him and told him when he got through speaking to some seniors in the auditorium at Booker T. Washington High School. I was a junior. I followed him down the steps. My mother was working in the cafeteria at this time. I said, sir, do you remember me? No. I said, my name is Leslie Brown. My mother, Miss Mamie Brown, she works in the cafeteria. I'm a twin. I was in your class looking for MacArthur Stevens, and they called me DT, and I agreed with them, the dumb twin. And you came and looked at me and said, don't you ever say that again. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. And I was startled. I said, do you remember me now? He said, yes. And I said, you said to them that they can make the school proud. They can make their families proud if they realize that they have greatness in them. I said, I was there, but you're not a senior, you're a junior. I said, I know, but I heard your voice and I felt like you were talking to me. I said, can I make my mother proud? He said, yes. I said, but what about the fact that I failed math and English and history and going to summer school for the 5th straight year? He said, your grades don't determine who you are. Yes, I have to work harder. And he turned to walk away. I said, Mr. Washington? He said, what is it now? You said if just one person heard your voice, that your being brought here from Stuart, Florida would not have been in vain. He said, yes. I said, I'm the one, sir. I am the one. He said, it's possible, Mr. Brown. He turned and walked away. I said, remember my name. I'm the one, sir. I'm Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy. And one day you're going to hear my name again. I'm the one. And I'm sure he just dismissed it. You see the video, Les Brown speaking in the Georgia Dome. I'm not going to end it for you, but it tells the full story. Here's what I'm saying. Some things happen to you. Some things happen for you. Keep the faith, baby. As Adam Clayton Powell, great congressman out of New York, once said. Keep the faith. Faith that has never been tested can't be trusted. Keep the faith, baby. Judge not according to appearances. Keep the faith, baby. Greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. Keep the faith, baby. He said, I'll give you whatever you desire. Keep the faith, baby. I'll give you all that your eyes can see. Hold the vision of what you want to create. Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. Keep the faith, baby. Use your superpower, your power voice. A lot of people caught up in the drama, the politics, and all this stuff that's going on. Don't worry about what's going on in the White House. Worry about what's going on in your house. Because at the end of the day, you're only 6 inches from success. That's the distance from this ear to this ear. Develop your mind. Be ye not conformed to this world. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Most people are witnesses. They're watching television. They're fans. You want to be a player? Kid and play. I'm kid. You want to be a player? You want to be the person who stands for something, who will live a life that will outlive them? Let me work with you to develop your power voice. Let me shorten your learning curve. Let me share with you how I came from nothing to get here. You're watching me because you know in your heart of hearts what I've done, you can do plus more. Put voice in the comment section. There's somebody that you know that needs to hear this message. I want you to like this page and share it. Like it and share it. But I'm not just looking for anybody. I'm ready to close this thing out. I'm just looking for people that are hungry, that are serious, that are coachable. Because most people aren't. Most people don't know that they don't know, and they think they know. One of the worst things in the world to deal with. Arrogance and ignorance. People who don't know and they think they know. Oh, behave. Whatever. You have so much more to express. You're still here. Every day is a great day, as Orrin Hudson would say. If you don't believe it, try missing one. If you're ready to make more money, if you're ready to be your own boss, if you're ready to generate and control your own personal economy, if you're ready to advance your career, if you're ready to run for office and make a greater impact and to live a life that will outlive you, be a policy maker, put voice in the comment section. If you have some skills, some knowledge, you're a speaker, trainer, coach, and you want to make yourself stand out. Name of the game today is attention. How to get attention, how to create an experience to hold the attention, and how to direct the attention. That's the name of the game. Put voice in the comment section. People are rushing to become a part of our training program, the leading program on the planet. I do it. I control it. I direct it. And if you can find somebody who's come from where I've come from and done what I've done and overcame what I overcame, I encourage you. Do it with them. Got somebody who can do it and accomplish what I have accomplished, becoming a dominant force in this industry? My hat goes out to you. This is not for everybody that I do. The Power Voice system. He who has ear, let him hear. If you could hear me in your heart, this is your time. You watch me up to this point, you know in your heart of hearts, these things ye shall do, and greater things shall ye do. You're ready for the greater work. Put voice in the comment section. Do it now. Don't put it off. Oh, I can't afford to do it. You can't afford not to do it. You know, people are talking about how much does it cost? Don't worry about how much does it cost. Ask yourself the question. As a guy asked me, how much will it cost you if you don't do it? Had I not bet on me, had I not put my money where my mouth is, whew, oh my God, it had cost me millions of dollars, literally. The clients I've had, AT&T, Procter & Gamble, McDonald's Corporation, General Electric, IBM, it had cost me millions of dollars, and the lives that I could have transformed had I not bet on me. Everybody being practical and logical and reasonable say, you're wasting your time. There are over 3,000 members of the National Speakers Association. Sometimes in life, you've got to be unreasonable. That's why we're taught to walk by faith and not by sight. That's why we're taught to call forth those things that be not as though they were. Judge not according to appearances, but right judgment, right thoughts, right feelings, right emotions, right relationships, and right vision. Yeah, let everybody else follow all the drama that's going on. He said, I'll keep thee in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on thee, not on thee in the drama. Drama will always be here. Always. Three kinds of people that will come out of this period where we are. There's a reckoning going on. There's a reckoning going on. Benjamin Franklin said, nothing will change until those who are unaffected are as outraged as those who are affected. There's some good-hearted people who now see, whoa, these people weren't making this up. Wow. Oh my God. Who would have thought? These people have been getting away with murder, judge, jury, and executioner. That's not American. But you know what I found? Hate is more important and more powerful than many people's religious values, the sense of morality. Hate is more important. Isn't that interesting? How they hold the Bible. They don't read, as a man thinketh, so is he. As he continues to think, so he remain. The least that you do unto these, my brethren, you do it also unto me. Isn't that amazing? That's amazing. Stand up for something. I had a saying when I was on WVKO radio station in Columbus, Ohio. Stand up for what you believe in, because you can fall for anything. And there are people right now. Just look around. Just look around. Oh my my goodness. It's amazing. Don't try and figure it out. You can't figure out crazy. You can't do that. No. Leave it alone. Keep thine eyes single. Live your life to the fullest. Live a life that will outlive you, because you can. You were chosen out of 400 million sperm. You're a masterpiece because you're a piece of the master. I'm looking for a few hungry people. We will vet you. And I'm 75, so I don't have patience for foolishness. I'm looking for people that are positive, that are passionate, that are coachable, that will listen, that's ready to be introduced to a part of themselves that they don't know. See, you can't read the label when you're locked in the box. Sometimes you need somebody to facilitate that process. You can't get there by yourself. All of us at different points in our lives are like what former heavyweight champion Joe Frazier said, like a blind man standing on a corner waiting for someone to lead him across the street. All of us have had our moments in the Garden of Gethsemane. Millions of people right now going through a tough time, nervous, can't sleep at night, fearful of being evicted or foreclosed on, or losing their jobs, can't get a good night's sleep. And your voice, your voice of hope, your voice, your story, the things that you've overcome and the things that you've gone through can become their guide, their survival guide to navigate these times where we are. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. He said he'll never leave us nor forsake us. Keep in mind, God's still in control.
Bye.